Thanks for clicking on this video. I'm about to share with you some information which we've discovered over years of facilitating meetings and years of watching unfacilitated meetings run. And we know that most people experience a great deal of frustration with the meetings that they attend. I mean, not only have I seen that, not only have my clients expressed that, but others who've written about it have documented that over many years. That is, levels of frustration with meetings, your average day-to-day meetings are pretty high. And I'm going to share with you right now one of the main reasons why the frustration is so high. So why do most meetings go so wrong? Well, clearly, let's acknowledge it's multifactorial. There's lots of reasons. But I'd like to share with you what I believe is the single biggest reason why meetings do not deliver. But to share with you that, I need to let you in on a secret. The first is that secret is this. Meetings generally occupy one of three spaces. So the meeting is either in a problem space, a solution space, or a vision space. And more often than not, meetings tend to restrict themselves to being in the solution space. Now, if we, knowing that, can give us some insight into why meetings go so wrong. Because meetings might be called around a particular problem. Let's imagine you are an accounts payable section and you've got some feedback from the other departments in your business that they're not happy with the service that they're getting. And so what might normally happen is you'd come together and the manager of the team would say, well, we've had some pretty ordinary feedback, what are we going to do about it? And so that is often the extent of the facilitation that happens. Now, when the manager opens a meeting and throws things open in that way, which you might want to acknowledge on the one hand, it's involving, it's collaborative, but usually the outcome is disappointing because after that manager says that, some people start going down the line of trying to understand what the problem is. They're analysing the data. Maybe they want to look at the data. Maybe they want to advocate what they see as the real issue. While at the very same time, other people are in the solution space. They're creating options for action. They may even be teasing out which options are most effective, or some will even be saying, I know exactly what we should be doing, it's this. Let's buy that software we've been putting off for 2 years. Now, and while that's happening, you may even have some people in a vision space saying, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could have everything, all invoices turned around in just 2 weeks or 2 hours? The trouble is that each one of those people are doing what comes naturally to them. Some of us are drawn to working in the problem space, some into the solution space, and some of us are more drawn into working in the vision space. And without adequate facilitation, we will all do what comes naturally to us and do it all at the same time. And then what happens? Well, it's the usual. We have a kind of a pleasant standoff. The people who want to talk about and discuss what the real issues are end up not being potentially well heard by those who just want to talk about what should be done. And then the people who want to talk about how it should look at the end of all this may not feel terribly heard either. So things can kind of ground to a halt. And potentially this is where tension arises as well, and even conflict. Not because anybody's doing actually anything wrong. The problem is never the people in the room, really. It's not even why they would come together. This group has a reasonable reason to come together. The problem is not enough facilitation. That's always the problem. Just not enough facilitation. So if knowing this can make all the difference, and we teach a little cute and powerful model called the kite, which shows us that whether you're moving down to arriving at what the core issues are, or moving down to agree on what the key actions are, or even what might be the key characteristics which define the future that you want, in each case, the discussion must widen first to gather data, then converge in on final consensus. It's as if the meeting must breathe in and then breathe out. It's as if the meeting must widen to gather information, to allow for all sorts of options and ideas, and then the analysis on that information must begin, and that's where the converging occurs, and we finally finish at the sharp part of our kite. So a kite can be a great, simple visual cue to understand which part of the problem, solution, or vision space are we in? Are we in the top part, the gathering information, the middle part where we analyze that information, or the bottom part where we come to consensus on the critical aspect of that kite? Well, I wish you well putting this information in place. Of course, we love to teach this information. We teach it in our Leader as Facilitator program. We include it in various forms in our Building High Performance Teams program as well. We hope that you found this video useful, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks.